Good morning, Endeavour, and a very happy Thursday to you. How quick has this week gone? And isn't our story hotting up? Today's chapter is called Not the War of Troy. And remember, we left Zeus in his bedsheet in the playground, calling the children to start their very own war. Let's see what happens. I think Zeus was expecting everyone to stand still and listen. But what would you do if you were having your playtime and this great big loony in a bedsheet marched out into the playground and started yelling in a voice that made the ground shake? You'd do what everyone else in my school did. Run! And you'd scream. Suddenly you couldn't hear what Zeus was saying because the noise of about 300 children all screaming at once and the teacher on duty blowing her whistle like mad sent everyone crazy and inside. Charlie and I ran up to Zeus to try and get him away and out of there. "Listen, O mortal children," he was booming. "I said listen! Oh, for goodness sake, stop that noise and listen! Belt up!" "They can't hear you," I yelled to him. "You're scaring them. Turn back into a hamster, quick." "Shan't," he grumbled. "I'm fed up with being a silly old hamster. Anyway, all I wanted was a decent war. What do they have to go screaming and yelling for?" "Please," I said. "The teachers will be calling the police to arrest you." "Don't care," Zeus replied huffily. "Anyone tries to arrest me and I'll smite them." Lightning flashed dangerously round his head. By this time, the screaming children had all raced towards the doors of the school and were trying to get in. The teachers were all busy trying to make sure no one got crushed or trampled in the rush. I reckoned we had a couple of minutes before they noticed that Charlie and I were talking to the nutter in the bedsheet. "Charlie," I said, taking the old battered temple out of my pocket and shoving it on my head. "Quick, give me your playtime snack." Normally, no one stood a chance of getting Charlie's snack away from him, but this time he handed it over without a peep. He was still pretty dazed by the whole thing, I think. It was a bag of crisps. I looked at the flavour on the packet and couldn't believe my luck. Quickly, I held the bag under Zeus's nose and opened it. "Oh, great and mighty Zeus," I gabbled. "In your honour, I sacrifice this bag of roast bull flavour crisps and beg you in your wisdom to take us somewhere quiet where we can talk about this." Zeus looked down and sniffed. His face brightened and the lightning stopped flashing round his forehead. "Oh, okay," he said, and suddenly there were 3 of us standing in the boys' toilets. "Great smell," Zeus said. "The crisps, I mean, not the toilet." "Okay, get on with the prayer." So I prayed this long prayer about how I begged Zeus not to start a war and to let us live in peace and how war was generally a bad thing. And do you know what he said? "Okay, Alex, nice prayer, great sacrifice. Now let's get on with the war." "Weren't you listening?" I demanded. "No, not really. I was smelling the sacrifice. Sometimes I just use the prayer, as background music. Anyway, I reckon we could divide the school into 2 armies. Big kids against little kids, maybe boys against girls. Children against teachers," Charlie suggested. I elbowed him in the ribs and told him to shut up. It was bad enough having a loopy Greek god on my hands, let alone a best friend who was joining in. "Zeus," I said, "listen to me. We're not going to have a war. Even calling each other rude names is against school rules. If we have a war, Miss Price will keep the whole class in at playtime and for the rest of our lives." "Well, she won't keep the ones in who get killed, will she?" Zeus said. "Zeus, no one is getting killed. Don't you get it? We're not soldiers, we're kids. Our teachers wouldn't let us have a war even if we wanted one. And we don't want one." "Oh, boo-hoo, Sally Spoilsport," Zeus said rudely. "Where's your sense of history? Don't you want people to sing about your glorious death for years to come?" "I'd rather have a glorious life for years to come, thanks, or any kind of life, really. Anyway, we've got to get back to class." Zeus shook his head. "Not till we've done the wooden horse bit," he said. "If we can't have some war, I insist that we at least have someone hiding inside a wooden horse." "We can't," I said. "We'll get in trouble." "Listen, mortal," he hissed. "Either we do the wooden horse bit or I start smiting. So there." Lightning flashed around his forehead again and there was a distant rumble. Sorry, said Charlie, holding his stomach. Can I have my crisps back now? They're not yours, they're mine, Zeus snapped. My high priest sacrificed me to them. Do you remember? And only the high priest can eat the sacrifice. Now where is the wooden horse? All right, I sighed. Come on then. And we went to the gym. Here it is, I said. We call it a vaulting horse. We jump over it in PE. Vaulting horse, Zeus said. Revolting horse, more like. It looks like a big wooden box with a cushion on it. We can't finish a war we're not actually going to have with a big wooden box with a cushion on it of Troy. That's stupid. Come on, get me a proper wooden horse at once and let's get it outside the walls. I was getting really cross now. Where do you expect me to get a proper wooden horse from? I snapped. I'm not a carpenter. Miss White won't even let us use a craft knife until next term, never mind a saw. This is the best I can do. And as for getting it outside the walls, the story said the horse was outside the walls of Troy. Well, Troy's in the classroom and we're outside the classroom walls, so that will have to do. But they're not going to bring it into the classroom, are they? Zeus growled. We're not going to do it properly if they don't bring it inside the walls. I sighed. Look, Zeus, I said, I've got to get back to class and give Miss White an excuse for Charlie being late before she calls the police. Hang on, said Charlie. Why can't I give her an excuse about you not being in class? Such as? I asked. You with a Greek god who's making you get inside a wooden horse? That's why, I told him. She's never going to believe that. Just get in the horse and pretend to be a Greek soldier. We'll come and find you in a bit, and you can say you hid there because you were so scared of the loony in the bedsheet. I went back to class feeling a bit worried. I wasn't sure that what Miss Wise would say about me being missing from class and everything. I pushed the door open, nervously, and everyone turned round. And then they all started laughing. I couldn't believe it. What could possibly be funny? Helene was giggling, Sam was snorting, Troy was laughing so much he nearly fell off his chair, and well, Miss Wise rolled her eyes and said, Alex, what are you doing with that model temple on your head? Alex, you'd forgotten all along. Right, guys, I leave you on Friday with our chapter called The Wooden Horse of Troy. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.